Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Introduction, actual play.
Hello, all.
Hey, everybody. I am Judd, affirmed by he, him pronouns, and I am here with my friend Sean. We are on the actual play channel. Profits generated by this channel are donated to the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund. I don't think Sean nor I have anything we need to advertise or shill or hustle today.
No, I'm feel free.
I think we can just roll on in.
Yeah.
Last game, you took 5 candles from
The Candleman.
aptly named Candleman.
Yeah.
And he offered to take you to the 10th floor through his wax pool.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I knew the means of transmission, but that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to get
it's a large reflecting pool filled with wax. I think when you step in, it's warm, probably like body temperature warm.
Yeah.
And yeah, I imagine you come through. You submerge and come out the other side. It is not like going into a pool and then you come up. I think it's like you go into a pool and then you're in another place. There is a ring of wax around you, and I think there's just wax all over you.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really any way to get through a wax pool and not be covered in wax. I think Judith Becker would probably be a little tentative about walking into a wax pool. She definitely held her breath as she walked in.
Yeah.
But, it was pretty clear that this was the way the Candleman had to, like, this was it. So
Yep.
There wasn't a coach option. So she, or a business class option. So yeah, so she gets out and is like grateful that there's a place to breathe, right?
Yeah. You come through and it is really disorienting because the setting around you is at least oddly familiar, right? Like you know that you're in a theater, and you can hear an audience somewhere, like bustling, like it's before the show, right? And people are coming in, but the theater itself is dark, and the wax and you, everything else off the stage seems to have gravity, but the stage itself is 0G. And as you look around the stage, it is like as if someone is doing a community theater version of the train wreck that was your first brush with the paranatural. So there's hand drawn on big pieces of wood, train cars that are like sideways, that like you can see like, oh, that's really clever. That would look like just like a train car to the audience, but you just see this thing floating, right? And you're just floating in a dark version of your memory your first paranatural interaction, where some train car from the monolith tipped over, and you were called in to find out what happened to the what's going on with the rails.
Yeah, and I am on stage as well. I am in this sort of 0G experience.
It's a very having a dream of a play where you weren't told the blocking vibe, right?
Yeah.
Like it's.
I feel like Judith has taken a lot of things with a fair amount of sanguine acceptance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think this is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
She mutters out loud. And then I think at some point, as she's just sort of floating there,
yeah,
she's going to try and reach for, above a theater is just untold number of a mezzanine with lighting fixtures and cabling, and there's multiple curtains usually, and all the rigging. There's lots of rigging above a theater. So if she is floating up towards the top of this, I think she's going to try and grab hold of some of the rigging that is, just above the theater level, and then try to push herself down to the stage to where this train wreck of a memory, a train wreck of a performance, a train wreck in reality.
Yes.
To push herself down so that she can grab hold of one of these wooden panels that is meant to represent one of the cars.
Yeah. Let's make a dex roll. Let's roll D20 and roll under your dex.
Yeah, that will be unlikely. Let's give this a whirl. You sent me a Magic game thing. Got it. All right, let's roll a D20. Nope. Got a 12. Dex is 6.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. So you grab something and accidentally turn on a light. And it's not fixed on the stage. It goes out into the audience. And I think what's in the audience is everyone who was in the monolith who was infected. So you just see like drones and brutes and dead folks. I think sitting in the middle, you see the director, and there are these like tendrils of shadow coming back that go into the back, and you can tell that there's like an entity behind all of them. Mm-hmm. Like where there should be a wall is a thing, and that's the thing. That's the thing, and they're all like, they're watching you. They're bored. I think you take 2 damage right to your control, right? It doesn't go to your hit protection. It just rocks you a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Control -2. Yeah, I think the bulb is probably hot or becomes hot quickly, so she can't hold on to it. But she is trying to see, is the director that she sees Director Harrison?
Yeah.
I want to say that of all the people that Judith has encountered thus far in the monolith, Director Harrison is the first person she recognizes. Director Harrison is somebody she remembers. Oh good. Yeah. As she remembers as someone she, took a professional development course with years ago. She took some managerial, preparing for management kind of, conflict de-escalation course with. And it was a retreat in a shitty place because it wasn't something funded by pharmaceutical companies, and it was hot and muggy, and it felt like the whole thing was a trial just to not lose your temper. And what's Director Harrison's first name? I think Judith would know this, unless you want me to assign it.
No, John
Harrison. So I think she says John. She may or may not have realized that Director Harrison was the person she actually knew. Hearing the name and knowing you went to a retreat with somebody with the same last name doesn't necessarily ring a bell. But I think she is, and she's just taking 2 points of control. She's not sure of herself. She doesn't know if she's in a dream. She doesn't know if what's going on, and she's trying to find something stable in a place where she literally is floating through the air and has no stability.
Make a control roll.
Great. The control is still 15, so let's see how it goes. Woo, 14. Barely made it.
Cool. You look stage left and you see a door, and you become confident that whatever happens, there's always going to be a way back and there's always going to be a way forward. That you're about to go through some weird shit, right? But
I think the performance that the set pieces, is there a performance happening on the play, or is it just the set pieces of the
set pieces? It looks like the performance hasn't started yet, or you are the performance.
She thinks a little bit about the gravity cube that she has and wonders if perhaps mixing a resonance artifact with an extraplanar creature might have this sort of effect. Like that maybe this was a byproduct of her stepping through the pool while carrying that, because gravity was sort of absent.
I like where your head's at.
I think she's going to try and pivot in a way that when she pivoted the sphere, she could control gravity. I think she's going to try and pivot herself in a way that hopefully will bring her, hopefully she can sort of invoke some of that gravity to try and, make it towards this door. But her eye catches the crashed train.
Right.
And I think we see, if it's okay for me to author this part of it, I think we see a Raggedy Ann doll that is supposed to be the person she found in the train.
Right.
That was clearly in some sort of weird transformational state, transforming from a person to something else, a bit affected by something.
Yeah.
And then she sees the Raggedy Ann doll has its hand painted red from when the thing shattered her spine as it impaled her. Back when. So that's disturbing. But if we remember the big scar on her back, that's she winces from it as she tries to make her way to the door.
I love the idea of the cube had something to do with this. I think let's make a control roll to try to alter that gravity.
Try and control that gravity. All right. 9. I got it.
Nice. Yeah, I think you zip through to that next door. When you get to that door, what does Judith do? Does she just go on through? Does she look back? Does she?
Yeah, no, I look back because now that I have something to hold on to, now that I feel like I have some measure of control, I look back again at the light at the audience and I call out again. I think I'm about to say John, but I say Director Harrison, and I think I'm going to take my flashlight, assuming I don't think I can. I think I try to reach into my pocket and it's covered in wax and there's just too much wax everywhere. But she just tries to, see if she can make the glint of intelligence in the audience from whatever is holding him. Is this him? Is this some facsimile of him? Is this a memory of him? She tries to see if she can communicate with him at all.
Yeah, I think you like turn to look at him, and like I feel like they all start to get up as if they're like going to the next thing. Like, they all kind of ignore you. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Like okay, this part is over.
I guess it's over. And she kind of, again, surprised to see a familiar face in such an unfamiliar place, opens the door.
Yeah. You open the door, and it is it's another dark. It's dark, just like the theater was dark, and it is it's a conference room. You remember it because it was where the video of you being job interviewed was happening. I think like there are like name tags and notebooks and pens on tables. I think the difference is the floor is covered in that wiring that tried to grab you. You like gave
the shotgun like to it away from by sort of shoving the shotgun in place of my leg. Yeah. Is
gravity reasserts itself? What's that?
Okay.
Gravity reasserts. So you can stand out. You're on the ground, and I think it is like writhing, right?
Okay.
It is moving.
Well, Judith is no action star at all. She's quite clumsy and has a tremor, but she's going to try and get on the table as fast as possible so that she doesn't get picked up by one of these things. So I make my way, directly to the table. Try not to stop in one place any too long and climb on top of it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It is like it is on the ground. It does start to come up, like crawl up the table, right? Like there is a door behind you, and there's like a door ahead, right? There's the door you came. There are two doors in the room.
Yeah. I think if she has time, if she feels like she can look at it, I do want to open up the director's notebook or like I want to see what notes were taken, presumably these are notes taken from my interview that I don't remember or from something else, but I think she's curious, even if that curiosity means she has to like fend off one of these wires. Like, she's on the table and wants to crouch down and take a look at one of these.
Yeah, you open up the notebook, and I think right away as you open it, oh, Harrison wasn't at my interview. I'm his replacement. And it's an email. It says Janet, or subject, RE, weekly debrief to Janet Garcia, date Tuesday, from John Harrison. Janet, I've decided to join the dive team to personally oversee their work after last week's incident. Hold down the fort until I return. Sent from my iPhone.
Did the voice that I overheard when I was talking to Janet Garcia on level 1 sound familiar?
No, it definitely wasn't John. It was not John. Nope.
Okay. The dive team. I think that was the wrong time to go diving. I think you needed a dive buddy, John.
Yeah.
All right. I think I take the notebook and like swat away one of the cables as it's encroaching. And cool. And I'm going to very foolishly, she does have fairly sensible flats, but I think I'm going to take them off because I'm covered in wax and I want to have some grip. And I think wax makes you kind of slippery. And take off my shoes. You know how wax like flakes all the time? I kind of do this thing to like get my joints limbered up by breaking the wax of the joints.
You leave wax all over the table.
Oh, of course. No doubt. Wax is the least I'm like John McClane. I'm like glass is you're worried about glass right now. This is if anyone shuns Judith about getting wax everywhere, but I'm gonna kind of limber up enough that my joints feel flexible, and then run down to the end of this conference table, and leap to try and get to the door on the other side of the room with as minimal contact of the wires as possible.
Awesome. Make a dex roll.
Yeah, let's see. Could I make an argument for a jump being a strength roll?
Sure.
Cool.
I can deal with that.
I failed it. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Did on anything.
So I think you make it through, but I think like you hit your head like on the thing, and you take 6 damage to your strength.
Okay.
Like right to your strength, not
right
hit protection.
Strength, no hit points.
Yeah. This is just straight damage. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's half of my strength. That's enough, I'm sure, to make me feel extremely dizzy, woozy, concussed.
Yeah. Like, you definitely feel like you're going to vomit. And I think you also realize that, like, you lost some of your composure the first time. You got a concussion the second. Like, something has to change about the way you're handling this. That's not Judd telling you anything. I think that's just like if it goes this way, you're gonna be in trouble.
Right. It's gonna sort of chew me up if I don't figure out what's going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I'm probably bleeding from my head, and don't have anything to do about that. Blood and wax make an interesting combination. And I imagine I kind of, as well as hitting my head on the door frame, I probably crashed against the door as well. And did that push the door open? Am I?
Yeah. You're through to the next room. Yeah. You pick yourself up, on a rough hewn stone ground of a cavern. And I think it's like when you went caving with your sister. And there is a fog that's kind of rolling in. And you can hear something else. Like you know that when you were in this cavern with your sister, it was quiet. Yeah, there's something chittering out there. That there's something. As a matter of fact, the noise reminds you of one of the ghouls that grabbed Amos. Like you can hear them out there in the fog somewhere, trying to find you.
All right, this time I'm like, okay, going straight forward, pressing through is, I think I realize, like, if this is some dream state, I could run through 1,000 rooms and never get out of it.
Yeah.
I've got to find the way out that is not the physical way out. I stepped through a wax pool to get in here in the first place. And so I'm going to start, I think I will like fuss and fidget till I like get this waxy covered flashlight out of my pocket.
Yeah.
And it's probably the lens is covered and it's like probably casting a dimmer light than it normally would. But I'm going to look around to see if I can find any sort of reflective surface, anything that looks off about this memory besides the, obviously like chittering sound of something that doesn't belong here. Because so far, all of these things have felt vaguely familiar, but also fantastically off. And I'm trying to find the thing that is mundanely off, if that makes sense. So that because the fantasy part of it is just the whatever, or the fantastical parts of it seem to be whatever is endemic to this planar research level. But these are also my memories, and so I'm trying to find the inconsistency in the memory.
Yeah, I dig it. Yeah, I think you turn on this. So you turn on the flashlight to try to find that.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think you turn it on and it like reflects off of the fog, and you can hear the ghouls, like screech. You know that like they didn't like it, but this isn't going to hold them off for long, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the things you see that are that were never here before is there are two doorways, right? There's a doorway that you can feel is there. There's a doorway that you recognize from the theater. It's like another one of those theater doorways, and then
Right.
there's an elevator door behind you.
Well, going forward, both seems dangerous and like it hasn't been productive, and maybe forward is not always the way. So I'm gonna
Right.
try and open the elevator. I'm gonna press the call button on the elevator door.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you you push the button, and you are in an elevator on level 10. You know that this is the central lift that you've been trying to fucking get to move the whole time you've been here.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're in the lift. Immigrant Song via Muzak is playing.
Right. Naturally.
You know, you don't have a key card, so like you pretty sure like you could go down, but you wouldn't be able to get back up, right?
Right. But as I've called the elevator, I've stepped into it. As far as I can tell, when I look up at the elevator, I am on level 10 though, right? Like I'm already here.
Yeah.
So my choices are go down to another level,
right,
or open the door again and go back into this madness.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess, you know, I sort of look up as though maybe there's a camera in the elevator, and I'm like, this is it's a hell of a welcoming committee you guys have here.
Nice.
And I press the door open button. I mean, the thing of the thing is to get to level 10, and I don't want to, you know, leaving it is not gonna. It was hard enough to get here. So
yeah. You open the door, and it's the cavern again. It's in the fog. You can see where you have to get to. You can see the next door, but you know there are ghouls out there.
Yeah. One of the things I picked up in the 8G was a flare gun. Yeah. I know it's a resonance artifact flare gun, so who knows what it does. Right. But if they didn't like the flashlight, I can imagine they'd even much less like a flare. So I'm going to just fire this flare gun forward and try and get to the door as they recoil, hopefully, from the whatever it fires.
Yeah.
Kind of one of these, like, I think she's firing it a little afraid of not knowing it's going to come out. So she sort of like, you know, like looks away as she fires it towards the door.
Yeah. Love it. I like this plan. I don't see.
Flare gun may be the wrong word for it. I think it might have been a road flare. I'm sorry, not a flare gun.
Yeah.
So
cool.
I light the road flare and throw it in that direction.
Yeah. I think that's enough to like. I like this plan. is basically like the vibe. Like there's that thing in Torchbearer where it's like this is smart. I feel like this is smart. You throw it in one direction, you run in the other. And I think like they think, they recoil, but they think that you're going to be near where the road flare is, and so they like start to descend on that, and then you are back. You open the door and you're in the theater, but this time there are it's like it's after the show is over.
Okay.
And there are the place is empty, and there are people in the audience, but they're picking up pieces of popcorn and rolled up tickets and garbage and trash. And I think the theater itself is it's the same as your old as a community theater version of your train wreck, but it's covered in mold. And there are there are four folks out in the audience. I think they look up, and you can tell that like they're infected, right? You've seen brutes, you've seen ghouls, and now you know that you've seen drones. And that's what these are. These are drones.
Do they look like they're moving towards me, or are they?
They start to slowly move towards you. Definitely.
Great. I'm trying to walk carefully. I think I took the can of Kills juice, or the spray bottle of Kills juice. From Ramona Park before I headed out because she didn't need it anymore. And I've got that. You do the thing where you shake the ball on the can. I guess that's only with paint, but I shake the can just to kind of make sure it's going to work. And I'm trying to walk slowly and not alert anything to me as I'm trying to walk across the stage, avoiding the mold of that's on the set.
Yeah.
But a little bit of me is like, I kind of don't imagine that they're intelligent, but at this point, if they're drones, but I'm sort of compelled to ask. So I was like, how was the show? Trying to figure out if there's any clues to be had from this shifting in time that's happened, since the beginning to the end of the show.
Yeah. They try to talk, and like when they do, shadowy tendrils of black mold come out of their mouths, and just like spill down their chests. And then I think like as it spills, it like goes like into them, and like you realize that like the shadows around them are that, right? Or this thing that's inside them.
Yeah.
And they try to talk to you, and like that's what happens.
Yeah. And so that when director Graymore was sort of saying that, like, for all intents and purposes, we'll call it fungus, even though it's not. I think Judith is starting to understand like how that was a stand-in. She remembers when she took her like level 2 chemistry courses in college, when they're like, all that stuff we told you about the way chemicals bond, when molecules bond in level 1 chemistry was not right. It was just a simplification to help you get to this point, where she realizes oh, calling it a fungus is just a way to get a frame hold on it before you can understand it more deeply. Not that she is, but she's sort of holding this can of antifungal spray and realizing, that's probably not going to do the trick.
Right.
And She's a little curious as to why it hasn't affected her yet. She's definitely been in the presence of this mold a few times. And
Yeah.
she doesn't know if it takes time or if it was just primarily affecting the people that were in the building when the planar barrier breach happened.
Yeah.
But she's not really keen to find out. So yeah, I just move across the stage to the other side.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, I think the drones like follow your lead, right? Like if you get the idea, if you had sprinted, they would have sprinted. So you
Right.
just kind of walk across, and so they just keep going slowly. You do feel like, there was mold everywhere. Let's make a control roll to see how that kicks up.
Great. Yeah. Nope. Would
Failed.
have if my control. I rolled a 16. My control is 17, but it's down by 2 right now. So this is would have succeeded if I wasn't so distracted, just thrown off by this.
Yeah. Make a D12 roll.
9.
Yeah, you realize that something of this has gotten into you. And
Yeah.
it's not clear to you exactly how yet, but and I think like as soon as it does, they like the other drones kind of stop, right? Because it's like, oh, you're one of them now. And they kind of go back to doing what they're doing. And but the door ahead of you is still ahead of you.
What's the lighting like in the theater right now? Is it like
it's like that after play, like the lights went up, but like it's things are starting to shut down as people clean up. Like it's there's enough light to see. It's not like the darkness when you were here in 0G.
Yeah. So she, I think we described earlier that she had a notepad.
Yeah.
And so she pulls out a notepad and she looks at the time and she writes down the time and she writes down the time and it says time of infection.
Right.
And
Nice.
writes the current time and will be recording time and progress of any changes she sees in herself as she realizes she's now just as compromised as everyone else in the building. And I think she leaves another note in it. If you find this, close the planar breach.
Right.
As an instruction, because she realized she may turn into a drone or some other sort of, she may lose her own volition shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I, put it in my pocket and I step forward.
Yeah. For whatever reason, you walk in and your understanding of this extraplanar space is better now that you're infected. And you're like, you only have 4 more of these to go. You know that.
Okay.
You're halfway through. And you know that you only know that because of whatever is working its way through your veins right now.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's something about travel. And you haven't figured it out yet. You walk into the next room and it's a sea of cubicles, not unlike the one where you saw your first brute, who was the admin. Yeah. I think like coming down the walls is like is ink. And I think like on one wall is your note, right? Time of infection. If you get this, please close the gate. And on another wall is a printout of another one of John Harrison's emails. And from Harrison John, date Tuesday, to Garcia Janet, Garcia, Janet, subject RE weekly debrief. Janet, tell admin to cancel all of my meetings this week. After everything I've done for this bureau, the snakes, I can't trust a single one of them. They conspire and plot against me while basking in middling success and sweeping their failures under the rug. I cannot simply be disposed of like the rest of the rabble. The truth, all caps, will emerge as it always does, exclamation points. John Harrison, comma, director of the bureau.
She looks around and says, well, if your goal was to let the cat out of the bag, I think you let out a little bit more than just that, John.
Nice.
And
you take a step and like your foot splashes into water and you realize that like the water level is rising in these cubicles and you know that the door is over there somewhere, but you're not exactly sure where.
Yeah. I'm just imagining because they're so ubiquitous in these cube farms, like water coolers, just emptying water endlessly onto the floor.
Yeah.
And them all over the place. Well, you said that this infection has something to do with travel. And if there's one thing that a rail inspector has a good sense of is travel.
Yeah.
So I do want to get a sense of, is this like somebody trying to get a free ride? Like, am I a host for this sort of parasite trying to get to the next place? Am I just carrying it like a vagrant passenger on the train?
Right.
And am I like fulfilling its desire right now?
You're not fulfilling its desire right now. But you also really don't know. Like, I think like what you know is that you don't know very much about this extraplanar shit.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to start moving towards the edge of the room with the notion that Cube Farms is not, I mean, certainly I've been to them, but it's not a common workplace environment. So I think I'm going along the edge of the room where I should try to avoid getting lost in a cube maze.
Got it. Smart. Yeah. Yeah, I just think that's smart. I think you didn't charge into a labyrinth. You find your way around. I think it's like you're about waist deep, belly button deep as you like get to the next door.
Yeah. I know I don't have a lot of time because the water is getting deeper. Have I seen any physiological changes in myself?
No, you haven't.
Okay.
You haven't.
So I think I just quickly jot down the time, no change, and go into the next room.
Yeah. You open the door into a long hallway. You don't know why the fog from the cave is there. None of this is making a lot of sense. You feel like they're running out of material. All along the floor of this hallway is the rat's nest. Is like the rat's nest of wires. And you're not sure why this is making its way through everything. But there it is. And there's nothing to like, it's just a long hallway, right? There's nothing to crawl over to get past it.
Can I still go back to the previous room, or if I open that door, is it the elevator again?
That's a great fucking question. If you go back, you'll go into the elevator.
Okay. That's what I thought.
But you also like feel like there's a shadow nearby. You turn back, you see like the lights from the hallway like put a shadow over the elevator door, and you're like, oh, I could just walk through that.
Yeah, I just stepped through instead of calling the door. I just sort of stepped through that shadow.
Yeah. Yeah. You lose 3 more control as you like leave a piece of yourself behind.
Got it.
Oh no, wait, hold on. I rolled a d6 instead of a d4. 1 second. Nope, I rolled a 3 again. So yeah. It's you lose 3 control. And yeah, I think yeah, you know that's permanent, right? That something of yourself as you step through the shadow got left behind. And I think the good news is that you kind of can see these rooms, like as you walk into the shadow, you can see these rooms made of memory and fear and planar radiation and fungus. And I think you can see the next 2 rooms, and then you can see the room beyond it, and then you can see the elevator, like, you know, beyond that, or like, next to that. Like
Right.
it like, these extra planar spaces are no longer as much of a mystery to you right now, because you are like in this kind of liminal shadow realm. I think you can see that there is a place beyond these spaces that you immediately think of as the gate, and you know that Harrison is waiting for you there, and that he has been tethered to something beyond all this.
Yeah. I have 2 thoughts, one much more mundane than the other.
Yeah.
The very mundane thought was, if I can truly step back into the cube farm rather than the elevator through shadow, I want to get on an office chair and try to roll down the hallway on it, kicking myself off the walls so the cables can't get to me. The much more fantastical version is, can I travel through this sort of planar vortex shadow into the elevator and then out of the elevator? Because obviously the elevator connects to every room. So instead of going into the elevator and then back out to the room that I was, I'm going to go into the elevator and back out at the room where John is in.
Yeah. I love that. Make a control roll.
All right. It is not as good as it was.
Yeah.
12, which I think my control was 17, so it is now -5. Now 12. I just make it. Yes.
Oof. Yeah, you realize that, like, yeah, I mean, you just like ease in, and Director Harrison is floating in this shadow space, and he says, "Congratulations, you made your own way. You didn't walk the path put in front of you. You didn't walk on any rails, so to speak."
Thanks. She looks down at herself, bleeding, covered in wax, clearly disassociating, feel her hand trembling. And she says, Did you get what you wanted on your dive, Director Harrison? Did you find what you were looking for? And did you redeem yourself in front of all these snakes? When she says snakes, she kind of gestures vaguely back at all the cables that were coiling behind her.
The snakes aren't those cables acting inappropriately. Snakes are people without vision. People who can't understand what people like you and I go through and have taken into ourselves to become something more than human.
In that same way that the end of first episode of Battlestar Galactica, where Caprica 8's spine was glowing red, while that never ever happened again in the show, which is purely for visual effects. I think like you could sort of see from like underneath underneath Judith's collar, like the scar from her injury is glowing a bit, and she says, "Yes, I whether I wanted to or not, it seems like I've taken in some of whatever has crossed through this vortex. It's not good, Director Harrison. This isn't a good thing to be in the world, to be in our world. This isn't a good thing to let loose." It seems like maybe you've lost sight of that.
Huh. I'm sorry you think so. I think this monolith could. I think the Bureau, could be doing more.
At the cost of all these people's lives? And who knows what else? Is our reality so insignificant to you that you would cast it away to invite another one in?
Reality
seems pretty unreal what's been happening in this building. You've been doing this a lot longer than I have, but this isn't a trip to McDonald's.
It's not. It's not.
So my goal was to try and close the planar breach. Doesn't seem like that's your goal.
No one really understands these planar breaches. Why don't you let me make sense of this entity that I'm tethered to? You can be the director. That's what they want anyway. You've done a good job. You've gotten this far. You definitely can think outside the box and think on your feet.
She looks down at her bare feet. She knows he didn't mean it literally, but it just reminds her that.
Yeah. And I'll report to you. And if I don't convince you, then I'll be like the Candleman or the Weaver or any of the other creatures here that you keep contained. But I think I'll convince you.
Is this arrangement going to start with you putting the monolith back in one piece? You want to go connect to this entity. You want to explore it. You want to explore what it's on the other side of this planar breach. Okay. But I think when you did your dive, something came back with you. In fact, I know it did. And it's in our world now. I'm not opposed to you investigating, but I'd like to have some sense of normalcy as a baseline. Can we make all this right? She sort of waves around, everything.
What do you need? What does make this right look like?
Let's see. Release the shadow infection on all the staff that are here. Restore normal means of transportation through the building. Make it safe. Maybe the last one's too much to ask. How about just freeing all the people that have been infected? How about we start there? Hollix, let Janet, who obviously you care about, who is currently trapped, afraid for her life. Agent Rosanna York, Amos, allow these people to get out of the building, allow them to return safely in the future. Or seems like I'm really pushing things. We just declare this building the research center, and we keep it contained here instead of saying you've got come in. We make this your playground, but you still let me get everyone else out of here. And my first order as director is to quarantine the monolith as a breach zone where you can explore.
Yeah, that's a deal.
Okay. You want to start on that convincing?
Yeah, I think like you see tendrils come back like towards him, and you can see you know that means that there are ghouls out there are brutes out there are drones out there that are free.
Nice.
I've taken up all the infections out of the people.
Do I feel like I still have whatever part of me is lost or whatever shadow has entered? That feels like I've still been changed by it. Yeah. And then like out of almost all the people, it's okay.
Yeah, that's not one of mine. That's your own thing.
Yeah. I figured. Okay, there's one last thing I want from you. She puts out her hand. I want a damn key card.
He reaches into his pocket, takes out the director key card, and hands it to you.
Great. I suppose we'll be getting to know each other much better, John.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
I'm gonna go get everybody out of this building. I'm gonna talk to the Bureau and tell them the deal that we've made. And then when that's all done, I'll come back and you'll tell me what you found.
All right.
Yeah, and I think I shake his hand, assuming you will, and flake off a little bit more wax, fix my my jacket, my blade, my sort of like kind of straighten my shirt as though I'm about to walk into an interview or just walked out of one, and then open the door to the elevator because presumably that's how that works.
Yep. You turn around, you walk out of the elevator. Yeah. You've got the card. I think the door closes, and let's take our break.
Nice, awesome. Weird shit, man. I take it this is mostly out of the book. I mean, obviously a lot of stuff you added to it, but
yeah, I mean, I so it's interesting. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yes,
yeah.
Mostly out of the book. Yeah,
mostly.
But yeah, we'll talk about it.
Good stuff. All right, thanks everyone for hanging out. We'll be back in a few. All right, I'm gonna go grab some tea. Be back.